What's up, guys? JC Radio. You know what we're about. We're about everything at this point. Let's just be honest with that. And we're about you. We're about the upstairs bathroom, like we mentioned before, and we're about Cody. We're always about Cody.
Oh yeah, you know it.
Yeah, Cody. We're so much about you. I'm actually going to turn you up a little more.
Oh, we
There you go.
turned this into just the C show. We're so much about Cody at this
The
point. It's
C.
just now the C show.
You know what? That's a good point because I mean, like it seems like the last few episodes have been about you in a way,
I guess, yeah.
and the pandemic was about you in a way. Um,
Sure.
well, it's just the movie theater stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
and this project wouldn't have started without your support.
That's fair enough.
So this is the C show today.
Oh boy.
Today, you know what? We're going to turn today about Cody. Today is all about Cody today.
Woohoo!
Yes. But first, let's make it about me. Let you know what I've been doing this past week.
All right, what have you been up to,
A whole
John?
lot of nothing. About it.
Just a whole lot of nothing.
Well, work's really slow. We're kind of in a funk right now, but it's all good.
Ah, that's
Uh,
never fun.
the maintenance team where I work, we decided to do our own little Christmas party. So, you know that smoker I have, the kind of big one.
Yeah.
Apparently, that fits in the back of my Subaru,
Wow.
and I took it to work, and I barbecued ribs yesterday for work.
Nice.
Yep, that was really fun. And what else? I've been getting really good at Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Solid.
Yep, I found my character today, like what character I'm best with, and it's surprisingly enough, it's not a hero. I was kind of hoping it'd be like Anakin or Luke, or even like Darth Vader. Nope,
Yeah.
it's a commando trooper from
Oh,
from the cloners. Yep, I am super good with that character.
nice.
So, and squadrons is squadrons. It's gotten
Yep.
harder but funner because it's harder. So, and yeah,
Solid.
yep. Christmas is in a few days.
It is.
Yep.
Will this be out before Christmas?
No, this will be out after Christmas. So,
All right.
what do you think you're going to be doing right now on Christmas?
Um, I already know I'll be at my parents' in the morning.
Nice.
I don't know if we're opening presents then or the night before because we typically open them the night before just because we have been forever at this point.
Yeah.
But I'll be there in the morning for sure, and then I have work that afternoon.
Fun. Fun.
Oh, you know it. Work
Um.
for actually a while right now is going to be a little bit more of a challenge than we thought it was going to be.
How so?
Unfortunately, my shift leader, the only other person I have that can either open and or close the day for me, just texted me today and was like, "Hey, dude, a family member of mine just tested positive for COVID, and I'm showing early signs of possibly testing positive for COVID." And I
Ooh.
just went, "Oh, shit."
So you can't come in.
Pretty much. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting trying to get through the next couple weeks.
Yeah. Well. Yep. That sounds like a you problem.
It definitely is. I'm gonna next time, actually Thursday, I'll be talking with my district manager, and we're gonna try and figure out something and see what we can do to make everything work.
Yeah.
Because right now, if I have to work, I mean, I'm already working every day. The problem is if I'm going to have to work all day every day, I don't think I physically can. I'd be pulling essentially like 7 12-hour days.
Yeah. And that's just I've
I,
I've
I physically cannot do that. Like,
I've
I'm going to be so dead.
yeah, no, I've done that before. I've done six consecutive like 12 to 16 hour days before, and Everyone's always like, hey, it'll be worth it in the paycheck, but no, no.
I mean, the paychecks normally would be nice, but
You're on
since I am
salary.
now on salary,
Yeah.
the paycheck doesn't change no matter how much I work.
And that's the hard part about you being on salary is that like
It definitely
yeah.
is. I'm glad to be on salary so that like this past week it didn't matter that I missed some time because I think this past week I only had like 32 hours. So I
Uh,
mean, in that front, it's nice that I didn't have to worry about
yeah.
things. But like then you have like this coming week where I'm working even without like if I have to do that like with the schedule I currently have set up, I'll still be there 50 hours.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, I'm not getting that extra like $50 that I would have if I was not salaried,
Yeah.
which doesn't seem like a lot, but it adds up.
No, yeah, no, definitely, yeah. So
Overall, I'm not super worried about that side of it. It's just one of those things that you're like, well, that kind of sucks.
yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. Before we make this too much about you, I just want to recap some things that have happened in the entertainment world. Um,
All
the
right,
the
what do you
Mandal-
got for us?
the Mandalorian season 2 had ended.
I have a feeling you and Alex are probably going to discuss that.
Yeah, season 2 of the Mandalorian ended. It ended beautifully. I almost cried. Um, Not sure if you've heard anything about it, but
I mean, I've heard about it because Alex called me and was like going nuts, and I'm just sitting there going, I have no idea what you're talking about, but this sounds like a conversation for you and John.
yeah, no, it was crazy. I was like literally like jumping up and down like a kid. It was really good, and then the after credits show that Disney. So we said before that Disney announced 10 different Star Wars movies / shows. But
Yes.
at the end of the Mandalorian, they announced an 11th one,
Oh.
and it's the Book of Boba. It's about Boba Fett.
Ah.
What happens is that basically, long story short, Boba Fett kills everybody in Jabba's palace that is assuming the throne and command of Jabba's gang, and Boba sits down with his right hand woman, and he is now in charge of the gang that Jabba had started.
Oh, solid.
So it said next December, I think it was like December like 21st or 31st, I can't remember. The Book of Boba will start. So,
All right.
and apparently in the works right now, a Luke Skywalker show is happening.
Oh,
Which would
cool.
be crazy because then you have the Mandalorian, Ahsoka, the Book of Boba, and Luke Skywalker all taking place around the same time period.
Sure.
So
I have no idea.
Well, it's
I will
filling.
take your word for it.
Well, what's doing is that because like between episode 6 and episode 7, like 20 plus years had passed, and in
Okay.
episode 7, 8, and 9, you only got glimpses of what happened between those years. And I feel like with these 4 shows, hopefully 4. We don't know for sure about Luke, but hopefully with these 4 shows, we'll see. We'll see what was happening in the background. Are you going through like 10 cases of marbles?
No.
That's what it sounds like.
No.
What are you doing?
Just looking through some cars. You probably heard one thing. I doubt you heard all of them because most of them I was pretty quiet with. Just one box did not open the quietest.
You just flicking it with your finger like son of a gun. Anyways, another thing is I didn't realize this. Shame on me, but PRVIS came out with a new album this year, like recently,
Oh, nice.
like really recently. Yeah, I had no idea. I listened to the whole album and then I listened to the deluxe album because it had like 5 extra songs on it, and it's a very, very good album.
That's awesome.
It like a lot of their albums and songs sound the same, but there was just something about this album that made it different. But it still sounds the same because it just does. It's just the type of music that they do.
Yeah.
It was something
It's
about
very
her.
like
Yeah,
electronic metal-ish kind of
well,
stuff.
not really like I don't know what the class because like Paris to me is like it's like the epitome of like pop like hipster music,
Okay.
but like they'll tour with like heavy rock bands or with bands like AWOL Nation or if you listen to them like I've listened to like Paris Radio on Spotify and like New Year's Day and like Icon for Hire popped up and a few other like rock or metal or just punk bands like that. And like Paris was even in Pop Goes Punk or Punk Goes Pop. And I'm just like,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm just like, what are you guys? Because when I went and saw Paris live, I went in my trip pants and like I think I had like a Guns N' Roses shirt on, and I saw everybody
Hmm.
else kind of dressed like me or like with Slipknot gear on and something like that. Granted, like they were opening for AWOL Nation, but like the group of people that looked like me, like was up front for Paris,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, what kind of what who what demographic do you guys aspire to attract?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it is rather confusing.
But at the same time, I'm glad that like they they don't seem to only attract one type of person, they attract everybody.
Yeah, it does
So,
give them a wider range on, I guess, the demographic that they're reaching,
yeah.
which obviously helps in any sort of form of entertainment. Is the wider the audience you're going for, the more you'll get. But the question on that is how much do you, I guess, in a sense, sell out to get more audience, and how much to like the exact group that you want.
Yeah. Well, like, and then again, like, is it selling out when right off the bat you're
Yeah.
not in a category?
Oh yeah.
I guess for them
That's
selling
where.
out, yeah, for them, I guess selling out would be categorizing themselves.
Yeah. But
So,
I'm just saying, like in general, like like you start a metal band, it's like the demographic you want, but it's like how long can you do that for until you have to start reaching like a wider audience to get your name out
yeah.
there? And then is that considered selling out because you went for the wider range than that group you initially were going for?
I mean, I see that's hard because like I feel like people assume certain bands, especially like rock and roll bands, sell out when really they're just making whatever music they want to make. You
Yeah.
know, and I feel like bands like Bring Me the Horizon, Falling in Reverse, Linkin Park, and like Fallout Boy are very much like you started as one thing, you ended up another thing. Fallout Boy to me, I guess, kind of sold out, but that's my personal opinion. But the other bands that I mentioned, like they just
Yeah.
made music that they wanted to make, and
Yeah.
yes, it's
And
different,
the
but that's okay.
yeah, the weird thing to try and talk about Fallout Boy is at this point it's not even Fallout Boy, it is just Pete Wentz.
Yeah,
Like he's all that's left of the band.
yeah, and I'm like, I'm cool if it's just if it becomes like the Pete Wentz band, like that's cool. I mean, look at
Well,
Andy
like,
Biersack. What?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
his solo project.
yeah. I mean, he none of that music that he made, especially on his second album, would be good for Black Veil Brides by any means. But
Oh no, but
they
that's why he made it. He's like, I got these songs that I want to make, but they don't fit the band.
yeah. You know what a good band is to show that like you don't sell out, but you pretty much just
So
you're okay to change and make good music.
I talked about the wrong band. I did not mean to say Fall Out Boy. I meant to say Panic at the
It's
Disco.
okay. We'll just keep going. We'll just keep going with what we got.
Yeah.
Wrong information. Sorry, we forgot to say in the beginning. We gave out wrong information.
I mean,
By
also that is the wrong singer that I mentioned. It was Brendan Urie, not Pete Wentz. I was right band for the right
Yeah.
artist, for the right vocalist, but that was the wrong band.
Let me tell you something. Somebody out there will probably be like, "Oh, John should have caught that." I don't know the flipping names of anybody from Panic at the Disco or Fall Out Boy, so
That's fair.
I would not have caught that ever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we caught it in it, so now you don't have to call us out. I figured that out.
Now we don't have wrong information.
Now we fixed it.
Now we fix so.
We
Anyways,
started by giving you wrong info, and then we fixed it.
that you know what?
Not to say Fall Out Boy hasn't, in a sense, sold out as well, but just information involved with that was wrong.
Just sounds boring when we fix it.
Right?
Oh man. We'll do it again later. Probably, most likely. Most likely.
Probably.
Be patient. We'll mess up again. So
Yes.
no, but anyways, a good band to show that like they have changed their genres throughout the years, but has still stayed true to themselves is AFI.
Yeah.
They started off as a hardcore band. They went to a punk band. Now they're like, I won't even say they're electronic or pop, but they're like the fine line between like pop, like punk and pop. But they're not pop.
Not quite
punk.
like,
Yeah,
not quite like pop punk, but almost like an electronic punk.
yeah, but like even then, like they're not even an electronic punk. They are the line.
They're a very upbeat poppy punk, but not actual pop punk.
But still stays true to their roots of like when they first started.
Yeah.
I still consider them punk, and like their latest EP, the song Trash Bat, to me is like, oh yeah, they're still punk, and their album before that, the Blood album, their songs So Beneath You and Dumb Kids, I'm just like how can you not say they're not a punk band? But even Davey Havoc doesn't identify AFI as like a punk band anymore.
Okay.
He just defines them as AFI. But The Cure was the same way, because people were like, oh, The Cure is electronic, The Cure is goth, The Cure is emo, The Cure is punk, and Robert Smith was like, The Cure is The Cure, and that's what it is. He even was just like, you cannot label us, because we will have one thing on one album and then the next album will be completely different than the one before,
Yeah.
and that's,
I mean, really,
that's what it is.
the only way somebody can sell out is by being labeled a specific thing. If you never get labeled into a specific genre, you can't say they sold out, because, like, well, they never were that in the first place.
Now, could you say that then Metallica sold out because right off the bat they were thrash metal and they have stayed thrash metal, and that is that's the category they choose to stay in?
I mean, if they stayed that, then I can't say they have, because, I mean, that is what they are still. I mean,
Okay.
if they are still thrash metal, then they never changed. The sound might slightly change, but if it's still thrash metal, it's still the same stuff,
Yeah.
just a slightly different sound. Because, I mean, the sound of the genre changes as it evolves too.
Okay, no, I like that. That works. So,
I mean, some people, the easiest example for a lot of people to look at is probably Bring Me the Horizon, because they started out super heavy.
yeah,
Like, it was pretty much all screaming vocals and a lot more like distortion in the guitars. And now, while there's still distortion, it's not quite as hard of a distortion, and Ollie doesn't scream quite as much.
well, I feel like the genre in itself has changed. I mean, look at Falling in Reverse and like a Skylit Drive when they were still around. Like everybody
Yeah.
started going to that sound. I feel like the sound of the genre itself started to change, and people were too.
The hard thing is, like, where do you classify them at within, like, because at that point it's like, well, what subgenre
Yeah.
are they?
So that's the thing.
And so
people,
many of the subgenres can get a very close sound that just the average listener like myself, I can't distinguish the difference between a lot of them. I'm like, I don't know what the difference in these things are.
Yeah.
I just know I like the music.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I try not to focus too much on the labels. I mean, like if people are like, what music do you listen to? I say I listen to rock, and they're like, what?
Usually I'll tell
Yeah.
them, anything from like rock to super heavy metal. Because
Yeah.
like obviously, if I'm like, oh yeah, I listen to like Miss May, I We Came as Romans, like that's not just straight rock. So I'm like, I'm usually in the range of like, straight up like Seether all the way to like Miss May, I
Yeah.
Motionless in White stuff.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, like, all those are like subgenres of rock and roll. And that's why I
Yeah,
tell people, it's like, I listen to rock and roll. They go, what kind? If they say what kind, then I'm like, I listen to all kind.
yeah,
From heavy metal to just standard like Bon Jovi rock.
yeah.
And
And I get like metal is a sub genre of rock, but to a lot of people, if you say rock, they don't think metal. They think,
yeah.
Seether, My Darkest Days, Three Doors Down,
Well, shoot,
that stuff.
even like Lamb of God, like hardcore music, people are like, hardcore is rock. Yes, it all this stuff originated from rock and roll.
Yeah.
That's why
Well,
I'm like, that's
yeah.
why they're rock stars. They're not hardcore
Yeah.
stars. They're rock
But if
stars.
you really want to get specific, it probably originated with like rockabilly,
Yeah.
which eventually turned into rock and roll.
Yeah, and like what I love is that when you listen to artists like Randy from Lamb of God, or other artists that do the really heavy stuff, they'll
Hmm.
admit that like it started from rockabilly, you
Oh, yeah.
know?
I mean, it
And
all started with like Elvis and the guys that were similar to him.
yeah. And it's just
And it was, I mean, the music, while it is partially about the sound, it's more about like the meaning behind everything.
yeah.
Rock has always been about, screw the man, don't care about like the masses. It's this is who we are, take it or leave it.
Yeah. And then punk started, and punk was more about the anarchy side of it.
Yeah.
So anyways, this episode's about you though.
Uh-oh.
So
All
tell
about me,
let me
huh?
tell you something. I'm gonna turn this to a small interview.
Okay.
How old are you?
I am 26, basically at this point, 26 and a half.
Okay, okay. That's about all I got as far as questions for Cody. So next subject.
All right.
I'm just kidding. Um, Fetch, Cody. Okay. What's something about you that the listeners might not know? Like, do you
I
have
mean,
like a
obviously, we know a lot of our listeners, so there's not a lot I can say, but for like the people we don't actually know that listen, I doubt most of them know that I play the tuba.
oh, hey, that's pretty cool.
Yes, you
Why?
also knew that. You were in band with me,
Well,
John.
hey, I'm trying. Hey, you know what? I'm trying to be an audience here. I'm trying to help other people feel good about themselves.
That, fair
Friggin'
enough.
A, man. I know everything about. I don't know everything about you, but I know everything about you.
Yes,
If I don't know it, I'll just make up something.
fair enough.
Oh, why the flip the tuba? Like, what? What made you be like, it'd be a good instrument? Tuba.
Um, I've always been drawn more to like the deeper sound of stuff in music. Obviously, you don't exactly hear bass super well in most music, but like as far as like wanting to play it, I've always wanted a deeper sound. And I don't know, tuba was just one of those ones I was drawn to. And unfortunately, when I first started band, I was not big enough to play the tuba. And by that, I mean I was physically too short.
I was say, didn't you play the trumpet?
Yes, started out on the trumpet, and the only reason for that was because you most people, if you've ever seen someone play a tuba, the way you hold it is it sits upright.
Yeah.
When I did that, the mouthpiece with me sitting all the way up would hit me square in the forehead. So I
You
was a good, 4 or 5 inches too short to play it.
you couldn't place it on the ground or something?
And then it was way too short because your chair is taller than that when
So
you move it to the ground.
I'm gonna make this about me real quick. When I first
Yeah.
played the Barry saxophone, I was
Mhm.
I was too I was too small also.
Yeah.
So what we did is that I sat on books so
Okay,
I
that would work.
so I could do that. So what I'm thinking is like, why didn't you just place the tuba on books?
Well, I'm guessing the main reason we started me on trumpet was just to get the idea of the fingerings down, just to understand how it works. Because
Is
the
it the
trumpet and
same
the
on
tuba,
tuba?
the way you play it are pretty similar. I mean, obviously the way you read the music is different going between treble and bass clef,
Yeah.
but it's getting, the idea of like the three finger combination down.
Okay.
And I'm guessing also because most sixth graders probably don't have the lung capacity to play tuba.
With that attitude, they don't.
So I mean, trumpet was just a easier, smaller version of that to start building the lung capacity. Eventually moved on to the baritone in, I believe it was eighth grade. I moved up to baritone so I could start, figuring out the bass clef side of things and figuring out, the notes in that.
Yeah.
Keep building up the lung capacity. Obviously, cross country helped with that. But, eventually, I mean, you saw my move from baritone to tuba. That was what, sophomore, junior year?
Something like that. I was just thinking about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I know it wasn't much before
It
going to
was.
college. A lot of people were surprised up there that whenever, like, freshman year, they're like, oh, well, how long have you been on tuba? I was like, I've only been playing the tuba for like 2 or 3 years at this point. They're like, what? I was like, yeah. I was like, I started on trumpet because I physically was too short for the tuba, moved to baritone, and finally worked my way up to tuba. So I was
Make your
like,
way up the
it's not like it's
chain.
anything super new. It's just I'm reading in a lower register at this point.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was just always kind of drawn to it. Like when I hear like a piccolo or a flute, it just makes my ears cringe because I'm like, God, sounds like nails on a chalkboard. Not like it's that bad of sound, but like that high pitch just
I like the sound of the piccolo. It's like a high pitched whistle.
yeah.
Huh.
They just hold out a long note and it makes my like the hairs on my neck stand up because I'm like, oh, I don't like it. Like I'm like the exact opposite of that. I go as low as I can, not high screechy noises.
So, what made you want to? What attracted you then to rock and roll or metal or just heavy music, with the fact
That
that you just play
can
friggin'
that can
tuba?
all be attributed to Ashley,
Okay.
hands down.
And Ashley's your fake sister.
Yeah. For
Okay.
those that don't know, Ashley is a family friend of ours that me and my brother have known for 26 years now. Like we've known her since we were born. And at this point, she's basically like our sister. We call each other brother and sister to most people, but have to preface it with, not by blood, just one of those relationships.
Yeah.
And whenever she started driving, she would pick us up, take us places and stuff. And Ashley, and she's a huge metalhead
Oh
at
yeah.
that point. Super, super. Not that she's not still super, but like she would play like a lot of Slipknot, a lot of Korn, and like that's pretty much where it started. And at first, that was really all I got into in the genre. But
Yeah.
like, it started getting me more into just straight rock, and then from there, kind of found the like heavy, but the cleans as well. What I like metalcore kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and kind of got more into that. And then the longer I listened to that, the more I was okay with like the super heavy stuff because I know when I first got into like the stuff, I did not like Atreyu at all. Could not stand them. But like at this
What?
point, I've heard a couple, and their sound has also changed some because there's some of the songs of theirs that come up on my Pandora that I'm like that's not the old Atreyu that I remember like hearing then, but
Yeah.
like most things it evolved, and I was like, I like their newer sound. Unfortunately, at this point, they like their lead singer did leave, but like it was just a bunch. Like when I first got into it, would not have ever listened to Miss May I. They are super heavy. Wouldn't have cared for them.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, it's not like I listen to that heavy of stuff often, but I'm okay if it pops up. Like
Yeah.
I have to be in like the right mood set for that heavy of stuff consistently. Usually I'm more like in the metalcore stuff, the good screams and clean mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all back to hanging out with Ashley forever
Huh.
and just being exposed to it that way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm yawning. Okay, anyways. Well, that's crazy. So, I mean, were you ever open to like, so you play the tuba and whatnot? Were you ever open to like listening to like classical stuff as well, or was it just like
I don't
whatever you listened
have,
to and then metal?
it's not that I have any problems with classical. I love classical music. Obviously, it's super well done. The problem for me is that it physically puts me to sleep. And
That's completely
like,
understandable.
it's not like because it's boring or anything, because when you look at like the actual music to it, that stuff is can get super intricate.
Yeah,
The problem is, no matter how intricate it is, it's all super soothing, and my brain is just like, all right, nap time.
it's so. So,
So,
have you ever seen like a professional classical like band or orchestra?
um, full on. Well, I have seen, I guess, one. I don't know if they're technically considered professional. It was like the local group up in Quincy, but
Yeah.
it was the Quincy Symphony Orchestra. I
Okay.
I think like the first chairs and stuff got paid, but like some of your other spots didn't,
Yeah.
just because it wasn't like a huge, massive one. But I saw them once, but I saw a uh professional, like, just performer. She wasn't part of like the symphony or anything. She was just a piano performer.
Yeah.
She was actually my piano instructor up in Quincy for 2 years,
Huh.
and I saw her play multiple times. And again, super well, like whatever she was playing sounded beautiful. Everything about it was super technically done, but I could not stay awake, which was always a problem because people were like, "Oh, you gotta stay awake. It's gonna look bad if you fall asleep at this recital." I was like, "I know, but I can't." It's like it has nothing to do with like the music
Well, it's a
in that sense.
compliment.
It's just it's soothing.
No, it's the same as burping at a restaurant. It's a compliment to the chef.
Exactly.
If you played like crap, then you probably would have fallen asleep.
Yeah.
It's a compliment. They did a
That's
great
my
job.
way of saying you did great. You put me to sleep.
If I were to be in charge of an orchestra and you were awake at the end, I'd look at every one of them and be like, y'all don't even deserve an instrument. Like y'all are fired. So man,
Fair.
but if you fell asleep, it'd be like, oh, okay, we did pretty good.
Yep. No, I've seen, like I said, I saw the Quincy Symphony Orchestra, and my former piano professor, Leonora, I saw her play several times,
Yeah,
but I never have seen, like, one of the massive, like, Philharmonics or anything like that.
I've seen the New York Philharmonic, and that concert was like an hour longer than I thought it'd be. So I didn't prep to sit there for that long listening to, as you said, soothing music. So I was
Yep.
kind of nodding on and off. What got me was that this guy came out, this huge guy came out with a French horn, and I was like,
Oh,
I'm like, this is interesting. And he does this beautiful French horn solo with the accompaniment of the orchestra, and that got me like that. And gosh, to this day, like it was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. So
all right.
and we listened to them at Juilliard in New
Nice.
York City. So
That's awesome.
that was a treat. Tell me it's been 45 minutes. I see right now 35 minutes, 10 minutes behind, 10 minutes ahead. So, anyways,
Yep.
yeah. So I mean that was really nice. Go to New York City, dressed up nice for the orchestra. Went to
Yeah.
Juilliard, played for the orchestra. It was great. One more question. One more question for you. It's got to be a juicy one.
All right.
Um. I can't think of a juicy question for you.
Okay.
All right. Would you rather walk a mile on broken glass or go down a little kid slide, but the slide was a cheese grater?
Oh gosh,
Oh,
those both sound awful.
and you fall in a pool of alcohol, so no infections.
I'd have to go with the glass.
That's what I'd
Because the
go
thing
with
with the
too.
glass is like your feet can only get so cut up. If the slide is like a grate, It's
Yeah.
just gonna keep eating away
Oh,
at
I never
you.
thought about it that way. Gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. That's why I was like, I gotta go
Well,
that
I
route
wouldn't
because
slide
oh,
down. I wouldn't slide down. I'd probably like roll down it.
I mean, you didn't say I could roll down it. If that's the case,
Yeah, but you're still getting like cut and getting chunks taken out of you.
you could if you catch it wrong, but if you roll really well, it
What?
won't be too bad.
How do you roll really well uh, down a thing with like ridges that are pointing up, like
I
bumps
mean,
that are like sharp, like ready to just catch you?
yeah, the thing is that like if it's in a way, like as long as you don't slide with any of the roll, which would be the hard part about going down a slide,
Yeah.
if you can somehow get a really good roll going, you'll just roll over the top of
so
it.
so you're
Problem is, you're rolling down a slide, and that's probably not going to happen.
so you're gambling that you'll get a really good roll in.
Well, I'm not saying I would switch. I'm just saying, like, it does
Well,
make it a little
would
bit
you?
harder of a decision.
Would you? Okay, so with all that in mind, which one would you do?
I would probably still go with the glass.
Yeah, yeah, me
It's
too.
not going to be great, and you're going to have some massive damage, but on the bright side, your feet are only going to get so cut up.
Yeah. Okay. Would you rather have no eyebrows or hairy ears? Not hair sticking out of your ears, like your ears are hairy. Like it's like you're wearing
Um,
like earmuffs all day.
I'd probably go with the hairy ears.
Yeah. So no eyebrows.
Yeah, one, anybody, like, obviously both would look weird, but everybody just looks wrong without eyebrows.
What?
And two, they do serve like a functional purpose.
What purpose do they serve?
They help keep like dust from getting in your eyes is bad.
I thought that's what eyelashes were for.
Eyelashes also help
How the flip does an eyebrow help dust from getting in my eyes?
because it catches anything that's like coming down from like your forehead.
I could maybe see sweat, but
I
like
mean, it helps with sweat too.
that's kind of who invented eyebrows?
Who invented them? I
Yeah,
mean,
they need a better
whoever I guess invented people.
they need a better explanation as to why we have eyebrows.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's why we have them. Give me a second, and I can
He's good. You're gonna
fact check that because I don't actually know if
you're
that's true,
gonna
but I think that's what I've heard.
you're gonna Google why do humans have eyebrows?
Yeah, dirt is part of it. It's mostly for moisture and light, but it does help keep dirt away from your eyes as
Light?
well.
What light is it? How is it blocking light? I don't like my.
It's a just the way light would reflect there because your eyebrows are usually dark. It absorbs a lot of the light, whereas
What?
without them, it's just pure skin, and the way it reflects would be harsher.
Harsher on what? Like, am I going to like spotlight somebody if I don't have any eyebrows?
No, it helps. It would be harsher on your eyes because, like, there's that space there that's not absorbing any of the light.
Oh, okay. Well, that's still weird.
I mean, also, expressing emotion, but that's a whole nother
No,
thing.
no, 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 no. You could express emotion just fine without
You can do
eyebrows.
it without eyebrows, but it's a little bit harder.
No, no. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm gonna name three people that I'm gonna name two people that don't have eyebrows, like they willingly don't, and one person that did it for a role. So of course,
Okay.
Jared Leto didn't have eyebrows when he played the Joker.
Didn't they tattoo some, like, have
Nope,
fake tattoos there, though?
nope.
You sure?
Yeah, Google it. You already on Google?
Oh, you're right. They didn't.
Yeah, and he had really good expression, huh? Which is another
He
reason why
did.
Jared Leto did good. Anyways, now number two, Joey Jordison and Wednesday 13 don't have eyebrows.
Really?
Yeah, look it up.
Joey has eyebrows. They're just not super
No, he
prominent
does. Hold on.
eyebrows.
No, hold on. But the
Yeah,
freaking. Let's
he
see.
has eyebrows. They're just not great eyebrows.
Hold on.
Saying that like there's such a thing as good eyebrows, but they're kind of like thin.
No, there was a time period. No, because I see a thing of him with eyebrows, and it looks so weird.
I mean, you just look up Joey Jordison, and like every picture that's just him, he has
Hold
eyebrows.
on, no,
Some of them less prominent than
I
others.
got one. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because some of these look like he doesn't have eyebrows.
If you really look, he's got them. Again, they're not super prominent, but they're there.
It looks like a shadow.
I think Wednesday shaves his because there's pictures of him with them, and then there's pictures of him without them.
I've never seen a picture of Wednesday 13 with them.
I'm looking at a picture from an interview with
Oh
him where he's got
gosh,
they're like pencil thin.
gosh, he looks so weird.
Yeah. Normally, I'm guessing he probably shaves
Yeah, he
them.
shaves them. He looks a lot better without them.
Surprisingly, you're not wrong. But again, I
Yeah,
think that's because like when he does, they're like pencil thin.
yeah. Because like here's one with Murder Dolls. Like he did not have eyebrows for Murder Dolls at all.
Yeah.
Um.
So Wednesday definitely doesn't. Joey does though.
Well, I still don't believe you with Joey. Hold on. I'm gonna Google Joey Jordison eyebrows. Let's see. Eyebrows. Well, that was the number 3 thing. Yeah, there's some with him without eyebrows.
Oh, he might
Oh
have
yeah.
done it with Murder Dolls. He actually might have for the look.
I thought he did it also during Slipknot too. Well, okay, well
I think the
that's
thing with
kind of the same
Slipknot
thing.
is he just painted like his mask just didn't have them.
Huh.
You gotta remember in that he had a mask on.
This is him without eyebrow. I don't believe it.
All right.
I don't. They may look
New
like
conspiracy theory. Joey Jordison doesn't actually have
Joey. No,
eyebrows.
but he willingly doesn't have eyebrows.
Fair.
So Wednesday looks way better without eyebrows. Is it weird that during quarantine, like I've been on like a Wednesday 13 funk, and I thought, what if I shave my eyebrows?
I wouldn't.
I'd say I would. I just say like it's something I went through.
Fair.
I'm gonna shave my eyebrows. So you would rather have like Chewbacca ears than have your eyebrows shaved?
Yeah.
Would you be mad if I shave your eyebrows while you're asleep?
What?
Would you be mad if I shaved your eyebrows while you were asleep?
I think I lost you somehow. Like I can hear you, but you're not coming through great.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. You're asleep.
Yep.
I shave your eyebrows.
Yep.
Would you be mad?
I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world that could happen. It'd be more annoying than anything.
Okay, no, here's one. All right, last question for you. Shaved
Okay.
eyebrows or shaved head?
Eyebrows.
I knew it. I knew that'd be it.
I've worked too hard on my hair.
What if I only shaved half your head?
No. That's
Well,
almost worse than shaving the whole thing.
no, it's not.
For me, yeah. If I'm gonna lose it, I'd rather just all of it go.
Well, what if you look good with like a half shaved head?
Then I only lost half of what I put the work into, and I gotta regrow that
What
half.
work? Body just did its natural thing through time.
Yeah, but you gotta take care of your hair too.
Yeah. Whatever. Well, this has been an episode of JC Radio. We talked about Cody, and we only talked about Cody. If you think we
And
talked
we
about anything else, then you're stupid.
and we gave you wrong information, just like always.
Oh yeah. We were wrong about one thing that Cody said, and then I was wrong about the eyebrows thing. Well, no, I'm not wrong, but I am, but I'm not.
Only half.
No, I'm never wrong. So
No, John's always right.
that's right. So awesome. Well, this has been another waste of time for you for JC Radio. Quick trivia. We were originally going to call this podcast Wasting Time. So,
We were.
but that didn't happen. Why? You find out later.
Exactly.
It's some future episode, but not the next episode. Merry Christmas to everybody, even though this will come out after Christmas. I hope you had a great holiday season. Whatever holiday you celebrate in this time of year, happy holidays. You can look us up on Facebook, Twitter. Don't look us up on Twitter. Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Spreaker.com. And our email is jcradio.podcast@gmail.com. You can hit us up on any of those things. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscribe. Click the little button. We come out with new episodes every week. And 2021 is coming up. So
It is.
we are making some changes with 2021. So look out for those and look out for some announcements. It's going to be great. It's going to be great stuff. I believe Fred Durst said he was going to be a regular on the show. Yeah.
Getting Fred Durst. Are we going to get the singer from Trapped?
Haven't replied yet. Hold on. Just got an email here. Okay, so Fred Durst's manager says subject to change. And in parentheses it says probably should look for someone else. Okay. Not quite sure what that means, so
Fair.
we'll just assume everything's still good.
We will have guest of some sort.
Yeah, on the show. It should be Fred Durst. Let me just email him back.
We'll get back with Fred's management.
Yeah. I mean,
you'll find out in 2021.
Yeah, so it's going to be great. 2021 is going to be a great year. We're going to have people. We're going to talk, and we're going to have a podcast. So look at. Oh, okay, that was pretty fast. He just emailed me back. It says refer to last email.
All right.
Well,
maybe not Fred Durst.
Well, no,
but guest.
Well, I said, great. Looking forward to talking to him. See you 2021, and all he said was refer to last email. I don't know what that means. Actually, that doesn't make sense.
Oh well, maybe still Fred Durst.
Maybe, I don't know. So,
but either way, there will be guests, and they will say things.
Yeah. No. Yes. Definitely. So. Look forward to that. Again, hope everyone had great holidays. Happy New Year, and we'll see everybody in 2021. Did I miss anything?
No. Have a Happy New Year, I guess.
Sweet.
We won't have an episode out before New Year's after this one.
That's right. Happy New Year. And if nothing else, this is JC Radio, and we're signing out.
Peace.